Quite recently, I had dinner with two folks who are active in missions to the Muslims. One in particular who deals with it at the highest levels. And both of them were very eager to explain that due to this relaxed and enlightened approach to Middle Eastern Arabs, large numbers of Muslims have now become, to use their term, not mine, Christian Muslims. And I replied, I didn't understand the meaning of that term. How could a Christian also be a Muslim, since they were separate religions? And their response was that these Muslims believed in Jesus, and they wanted peace with Christianity, but they also retained their Muslim identities. And thus the long sought after middle ground had finally been found. So we all ought to rejoice and join in the effort. Well, a little later in the evening, I talked separately to one of the men and asked him this question. Have you ever asked these Muslim converts who Jesus is? And at that point, he leaned over to me and he confessed that indeed that this issue was troubling to him, because the Christian Muslims who professed belief in Jesus did not believe that he was God, did not believe that he was the Son of God, or was he God's Messiah. Nonetheless, he felt that while they did not accept the divinity of Yeshua, that they were equally insistent on maintaining their Muslim identity, that they were either Christians or well on their way to becoming Christians. And he pointed out that many accepted modern day Christian denominations essentially hold the same belief that Jesus was a good man, but he was not divine. And this also agrees with the beliefs of most of the modern schools of Bible scholars. So for him, case closed. The situation may not have been ideal, but it was a good thing nonetheless. Well, Yeshua seems to have a different standard for answering the question, who is Jesus? In Matthew 16, 13 through 17, it says this. When Yeshua came into the territory around Caesarea Philippi, he asked his Talmudim, his disciples, who are people saying the Son of Man is? And they said, well, some say John the Baptist, Yochanan the Immerser. Others say Eliyahu, Elijah. Others say Jeremiah, one of the prophets. But you, he said to them, who do you say I am? Shimon Kepha, Simon Peter, answered, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. Shimon bar Yochanan, Yeshua said to him, how blessed you are. For no human being revealed this to you. It was my Father in heaven. I can't begin to tell you how this new distorted idea among many believers, among many Christian missionaries, of how Jesus is to be presented to Islam, even to the Western Gentiles, and what constitutes faith in Christ troubles my heart. I can't begin to tell you how catastrophic this is to our faith. I certainly don't hate Muslims. Muslims are certainly worthy of being told the good news of Jesus and being saved as much as anyone else. I have Muslim friends and acquaintances. Most of them are good people. But the Old and New Testaments are clear that our identity and which God we identify with and how to identify that God is everything for a human being. Here at Seed of Abraham, we have spent years studying the Old Testament, and it is overflowing with stories of Israelite kings and of their subjects adopting elements of pagan worship, of other gods, of the cultures attached to them, and then adding it to their worship of the God of Israel. I even gave you the scholarly name for this phenomenon, syncretism. And what was God's reaction to all this? Unequivocal condemnation of it. Sometimes killing those Hebrews who practiced it. Sometimes various disasters befalling his people in the Holy Land as a supernatural judgment. And in the end, exile. In fact, this was the primary subject of the many prophets the Lord sent to warn and chastise his people Israel.